Well, wrestling is wrestling, and matches are matches. The biggest difference was TV production, and I mean that they weren't, and then interviews, because they tried to have script writers and stuff like that, which I didn't flow well in that. So I mean that was a kind of a hard thing for us. But the wrestling fans were the wrestling fans, and it was the switch wasn't very difficult.
Did you get along well with Bobby Heenan?
Oh yeah, I've known Heenan forever. When he was Nick Bockwinkel's champion, and they used to come down and wrestle for my dad, and I've known Heenan since I was a youngster.
And you won the tag titles fairly quickly from Demolition, who were really over at that time.
Right.
What are your memories of those matches with them?
They were great matches, being on Saturday night's main event was a big deal, And I know that in 1989, we wrestled on 4 of the 5 Saturday night's main events, and Hogan wrestled on all 5 of them, and we got put in the spot right after Hogan because the ratings, instead of spiking when Hogan was on and then falling immediately when we were on the next match, the ratings stayed up, and that is from Dick Ebersol. I had a number of conversations with him because he was at the TV tapings.
And he was head of NBC, right? For those that don't know, or
right.
In charge of the production
of the NBC Sports, and I think he actually came up with Saturday Night Live and all kinds of things, and
because Saturday night's main event preempted Saturday Night Live.
No, it came on after Saturday Night Live,
okay.
And it was, but it was it was a tremendous place to be, and oftentimes you don't, when something like that is kind of going on, you don't really grasp the impact of it. And I do know that we liked being on Saturday night's main event because we got paid a lot more for TV than.
And I don't specifically recall, but I'm wondering if you wrestled the Hart Foundation at all when you guys were in WWE.
Yeah, we wrestled them at SummerSlam.
Okay. SummerSlam 89, right?
89, yeah.
And what were they like to work with?
Kind of like the Road Warriors.
Oh, really?
Jim the Anvil could beat you up a little bit, and Brett was a great talent. Both of them were great talents, but I mean it was they were definitely solid.
And we're obviously a Canadian company. We got a lot of people that are interested in this subject, so I'll just ask you briefly what your opinion of the whole Montreal screw job thing was with Brett.
Well, I wasn't working with the company at the time, and really don't know, what it is. It's difficult for being in the ring. I'd always, everything was set before I went to the ring. I wasn't involved in anything like that, and don't really know how in the world it would make happen. But, I'm sure that it was probably done. I know Brett, and I know Sean, and be a very, very awkward situation to be either one of the guys.
Right. And I've heard that before the drug test failure, both you and I were actually thinking of going back to NWA anyways. Was there any truth to that?
Oh, absolutely. We were going back. We had already negotiated a deal for $750,000. And then I flunked the drug test, and I got suspended, and we'd already given our notice. We were already, I got suspended November 2nd, and we were leaving after Survivor Series. So I missed Survivor Series and the rest of that month. Arn went back.
And you were inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame in 2012 as part of the Four Horsemen group,
Right.
as you mentioned. Do you want to just give your thoughts on being inducted into that Hall of Fame?
Well, I was inducted into the NWA Hall of Fame in 2009, which didn't have quite the pomp and circumstance, but it was a tremendous weekend and tremendous night. It was there were over 12,000 people at the induction. I know that the other people that were there at the same time were great talents in the wrestling business, and my children got to see it, and that they had never really been around that, and me, because they weren't alive when I did that, and so it was a tremendous evening. And time for that,
And you were also an agent briefly in the WWE. Is that right?
No. I was applying. They'd asked me to come up, and they had offered me a job.
Similar to Arn's, I guess.
They said I could be an agent, I could be a trainer, I could be one of the writers. Kind of but I mean, there was, when nobody talks about money, you don't have a job yet.
Right.
So I mean, it was more of an interview.
Okay.
You know, and then that was an unsuccessful evening.